Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to our Success Thursday this week with Raj Solanki. Hi Raj, welcome back.
Hi, Vasco.
So Thursdays is when we talk about success, of course, and one of the tools that we use as Scrum Masters to help us reach that successful outcome is the retrospective, of course. So let's start with that, Raj. Share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
Okay, so on the retro front, I still go with the traditional way of doing it, but I add some flavor into that. Like, for example, what I do is when I take a retro for my team, I go with what went well and what did not, went well, and set of action item that how can we, what did not went well, how can we improve those areas. But along with that, before I enter into that, I first go with team understanding the sprint, how the sprint went. I mean, what was your input in one single line? So what I used to do, I used to give the team to rate the sprint health from 1 to 10, and you give a one line descriptions that how do you feel about that sprint? What is a sprint health? So in that, what teams talk about, they will say the process, we deliver 100%, or the supporting items were made available on time. This is the rating from 1 to 10. Some people will give 5, some people will give 6. Along with that, I also have another structure which I prepare on my, usually I use Miro board. That is the tool which I use for a team retrospective. On the other front, I talk about team appreciation window, which I create for my team. There, what I used to do is I list the names of the resources of the whole team, and I ask individual, they should go there and they should put a star on the names whom they feel that this is the person within the team who has played the best role in this sprint. And the reason could be anything. It's not that it's just that technical work, or you have supported in something like coding or something. No, I ask them to, for any reason, as a collaborative way, as we all are working, we also need to ensure that we should appreciate the efforts been put by the team members. So there are cases where people go and put a star on the name of that person, saying that this person was always available as and when I required in terms of supporting me, or this person I requested to just look into my code, and he was promptly available in spite of he was assigned on some other activity. So that was a team appreciation board. The first one was with respect to the sprint health, which gives me a clear picture that how the team is feeling about this sprint and what necessary action I as a scrum master need to take, so that in the upcoming sprint I can give much better value to the team. I can improve the team health, for example, which is 5 out of 10. I need to work to bring it to 7, maybe not be 100%, but I need to bring 70%, culture, happiness within the team. And then I work on that. Now, coming to the point, what I said, that what went well, what did not went well, and action item, because I like that board, because my what I wanted is, if I'm doing a retrospective, I do not wanted to focus on so many things in one go, because this is something where you talk about as a team, as a sprint. And I feel that when you give only 3 step, people were quite easy in terms of putting those information. It's just that how do you facilitate it, that matters. It doesn't matter that which board you are using it. People have different boards to run the retrospective, but here the purpose of putting this team health, then you have the about the sprint, and then about the team appreciation, was I was able to collect everything together about the team, about what went well, what we actually did well as a part of the team, where we are lagging or we need an improvement, and what action item we have to do, or what as a team we have to work on. And then suddenly, I mean, the other aspects was appreciation. And along with that, I was also having, I create my board in such a way that I keep a tab called as, continuous improvement and continuous development. And that's a kind of pool of ideas. So I asked the team, you go and start putting your ideas into those particular tab or in the particular block. And that helps me or even the team to understand, because when you get an idea, when the purpose of that was, it was helping the team not only to focus primarily on the work which has been assigned, it was giving them an opportunities as well to enhance their skills. So my approach to the team was, let's not, because we work into a safe model, so let's not focus on any innovation or any new thing only when you've been asked to. You have to start, it's a continuous process and you have to improve continuously. Every sprint by sprint retro we need to improve. So any sort of ideas, maybe that, in the sprint one, during the retro, some sort of action item, maybe could be the support, the collaboration was not good. So there was an idea to that, how do we build a good collaboration culture.
Yeah, absolutely. I
People
really
used to
like
write.
the aspect of finding an opportunity to slightly change an existing format to adjust it to the team and the context of the organization. That's
Right.
a great insight. So, Raj, now we turn our attention to the Scrum Master role, of course, which is the focus of
Yes.
today's episode, and what success means for us. So, share with us, Raj, what's your definition of success for a great outcome for the Scrum Master role?
For me, as a Scrum Master, the success is if your team for which you are working as a Scrum Master, if your team is achieving the success, it means you have achieved the success. Because first comes the team and then the Scrum individual success and Scrum Master individual success. And I, as a Scrum Master, I feel that I have achieved a success when I see in within my team a culture of collaboration, a culture of working together, a culture of delivering the high business values, supporting each other rather than pinpointing finger on other. And as a Scrum Masters, if I am able to remove the impediments, remove the challenges what my team is facing, as and when required or promptly required, I believe I have achieved my success, or as well as my team has achieved my success.
Absolutely. And a follow-up question that I had, of course, is, you talk about the culture of collaboration, supporting each other, focused on value delivery. How do you, as a Scrum Master, look back and reflect if you are really being able to achieve that? Like, how do you look, what are the team behaviors or maybe
Yes.
outcomes from meetings, or like what do you use in order to reflect as a Scrum Master so that it helps you get there, right? So that you see the gaps, that you adjust the way you work and help the team achieve all of those things.
Yeah. So the parameter what I normally use to understand those things are like, I see that when I talk about collaborations and when I talk about team building culture, at the initial steps, there are only few people who are ready and who are outspoken, and there are many people within the team who are just sitting idle within the meetings. They were not talking at all. They were just listening it. So eventually, what I used to do is I used to see that how the participation level of the team is, who all are participating, and the person who is not participating, what is the reason behind that? Is it because of he is afraid of talking in those meetings, or he feels that it's not, you know, there is no benefit at all if I talk about. So when I when I evaluated my team and when we went through a couple of session, what I talked in my previous things, like couple of team building activities and then a couple of workshop on these things. So the team participation was one of the parameter for me, which helps me in evaluating that my team is now coming to a point wherein the team is having a collaborative culture. The deliverables, what I am delivering, how we have delivered, how we have measured our success. It's like in an sprint one, the velocity was 10. It is continuously increasing. So that was a quantitative way of evaluating my team. that yes, definitely, because if my velocity of the team is increasing, it clearly states that we have started working as a team now. That there is definitely a change in the mindset. There is definitely a culture of collaboration. And when people talk about, and the other, as I said, that team appreciation, people started appreciating each other. So this also shows that everyone within the team is supporting each other. Everyone is supporting as and when required. People are coming upfront and supporting the people without requesting them to support. So all these things like velocity, your team appreciation stuff, and the deliverables, what we are achieving is sprint by sprint. These were the quantitative attributes which was helping me in terms of understanding that yes, the culture of collaboration, the team culture is actually improving, and we are moving toward the success of agile transformation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very practical way to approach. I really like how you define, involve the team in defining success and then measure it together with them. That was great. Thank you for sharing that, Raj.
Thank you.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.